Good evening, viewers. Thank you for joining us on Global Entertainment News TV. Welcome to your opinion. As usual, we hope to hear your opinion across our social media platform during the show. Share your thoughts, experience, and solution. Let's break the silence. I am Sola, your host, and joining me in the studio today are
Bella and Steven.
today we'll be talking about domestic abuse. So let's get into it. So, Bella, what is domestic abuse?
Domestic abuse refers to a pattern of behavior in a relationship where one partner seeks to gain or maintain power and control over another through various forms of abuse, including physical, emotional, sexual, and financial harm.
Stephen, your own, do you have anything to say on it?
Well, domestic abuse can also be defined as any act of violence or aggression that occurs within a domestic setting, affecting spouse, partners, and household members, regardless of gender.
So, how prevalent is domestic abuse?
Well, this is mostly common here in Nigeria because we see a family of, let's just assume a family of three, where the mother is abusing the child just because of the rate of hardship in the country. Because recently now you see a child of 3 or 4 years, 5 years walking on the street.
Yeah.
This is very wrong honestly because you can't the security of that child self is not even assured because anything can happen to that child outside the environment or the care of the parents. So you need to work more on that because especially
So, what do you want to say on it?
Everybody suffers domestic violence from the man, this woman, the child, labor, and all that are all into one. And then sometimes they needed to speak up. I think the most that are actually silencing all those ones that don't want it to speak out are actually the man because when if someone is going to tell you that a man is actually being beaten by his wife, you're going to be like,
Mm-hmm.
is he not a man again? Says that I've been abused
Yeah,
or
by the
being
woman.
violated by my wife. Every other man and even the society they are going to go against him and feels like you are a man and then you
You
should
should
be the
stand
head,
up for
you
yourself
should be the head of the family. Why would you allow your wife
to beat you.
to beat you and then put you so low? It's going to make the society to disrespect you and feels like you are not man enough to actually do that. And when it comes to the women being abused as well, it's time that the women actually have a whole lot of focus on them, where you have the NGO trying to support the girls' child support and all that. So coming out they needed to speak for themselves. And they're talking about the child labor, which is putting a child of 3 years or 5 years under an adult to your own child. You just send them out because it feels like you can't take care of them. You
They
have
should
to.
not fend for themselves.
It's not even they should go and fend for yourself. You just sell them out to a couple that you feels like they should just take care of them, paying her school fees and then all that because it feels like there are so many of them and then you can't actually take care of them. So and then all the torture and pain and every other thing, she can't say anything. I think after the man having no support, I think it follows by the child that have no one to talk to because the fear alone won't allow her to speak out unless the neighbors that are around her is going to feel like I something is wrong. This child should not be looking like this. It has to be something better has to be done. That is the two major aspects.
So, Stevie, can you talk about the common signs of domestic abuse?
well there are so many signs of domestic abuse. We have physical signs, we have emotional signs. For starting with physical signs, we also say physical signs. Mostly happens in families, homes where we have house helps. We see a situation whereby the wife and the husband of the house will go out for work or look for something they will do or go out for this their daily bread to fetch for things to bring to the family. You have the house help maltreating the children. All these things happen it happens everywhere, mostly in Nigeria here. Yeah, we also have emotional challenges. Yeah, it happens where we have the wife being maltreated by the husband or the husband being maltreated by the wife. So there are so many ways of and signs of domestic abuse. We also have isolation. We have fear of partner, where the man can be bullying the wife. Some of this happens. Even the wife self can't even come outside to tell people that this is what is happening. this is what is happening to me, this is what is happening in my family. They always want to keep it to themselves. The fear of the partners even allow them to tell
I think that
family.
is not just the wife alone that is going to be isolated from all this. Even the house help as well, because we are looking at the three group that is actually very very involved. Another human can actually be a dominion over the other, because you can feel so much power in yourself, and then the moment you have someone fearing you, even without you saying a word, there's the aura in you, you just feels like, yes, I have so much dominion, I can control this person to the point I like, to the point of beating the person. A house help of 3 years, not even a house help, a stepchild, like that she's taking care of, went to the point of beating the child and using a spatula to break the 3-year-old boy bone. The neighbor has to
I think that happened in Enugu, I guess.
like it was so, how can you be so heartless of breaking a 3 years old child bone, and you don't even pour water,
Just
pour hot water.
and the clothes he ironed got burnt.
They're going to burn the child body, and then I sometimes I look at human and then I feel like, is there no fear of this person?
Human feeling, like, is there no human feeling in them?
There's no fear in trying to see that this person is like me, we have the same skin, but torturing someone else all in the name of dominion.
Exactly.
I have a dominion over this person, I have power over this person. Your mother have already sold you to me. That is from the man, or the woman will be like, yeah, you don't have anything. I'm the one taking care of the house, so I'm going to do whatever I like. And then to the child labor as well is going to be like, there is no way you can go, because you are under my roof. I'm feeding you and I'm clothing you. I have the right to do whatever I wanted to do to you. And then it's really something that we needed to look into.
Viewers, before we move on, share your opinion, your thoughts about this domestic abuse. So, Stevie, can I ask you, what are the impacts that this domestic abuse cause on victims?
I would say there are numerous impacts that's caused. Some of the impacts, it affects the, either be it the husband, be it the wife, be it the child, be it the house help. It affects them emotionally also. IQ setting, it affects them because most of them will come out, they won't be able to come out and express themselves. It has made so many people, it has kept them in isolation, it has made some people dumb to be able to even come outside to tell people that this is what they feel about what is happening in this family. So some people they will bring them from the village, they will tell them, you are going to work for this person, you are going to use 7 years to work with this person, you are going to use 8 years, 9 years, after this I'm going to settle you, or during this period you'll be going to school. After they get to that household or that family, none of these things will be done to them. You just have to be in that house.
It's going to be an empty promise, fake
So all these
promises.
things, it really affects. It affects psychologically. It affects emotionally. It affects in a lot of ways. I tell you.
The impact that it has is the stigma, the
Is it more than stigma?
PTSD,
Depression,
the PTSD,
like anxiety,
you just have to look at it, and then it makes you fear some certain
some
human.
people go into panic disorder.
So you get to the point that you have to fear some certain human being. You get to a point that even when you grow up, like the child, till when you grow up, you're still going to be like, more, I experienced this thing. No, there was one lady then that I used to know. This lady, anytime she's eating, you know how she don't want to use a chair. Even if there's somewhere for her to sit down, she would rather just sit down, squeeze herself. She has a child already. This is the third one, and then she'll just squeeze herself in one corner, breastfeed her. And I was just looking at her. I was like, why does she always love to sit down in a corner, squeeze her leg together, and then, well, even if she's eating, whatever she's doing, and then she's so comfortable with it. Then one day I asked her, and she was now like, she has went through a lot in the hands of her auntie. Like, this is how they will just squeeze her in one place, and then she will sit down. She will do all the housework, cook for the children, her auntie children, wash their clothes, do all these things, and then this auntie went to the point of depriving her of her studies. She didn't go to school. So I was like, but why would she do that? She's your mom, junior sister. I say yes. She said that when her mom died, she was like, don't tell your mama, say, may nobody leave picking for her mom, may nobody leave responsibility for her mom. So she even tried, said, may they feed you. So may they thank God, say they feed you. So you can imagine your own elder sister, daughter, you can't actually carry her your own. So all of this happened. There are people that their mom, they are orphan, you just fearing like one auntie or uncle, and then they wanted to bring this person, and then the next thing they enter into another trauma. The entire face of it will just be like, how I wish my mom is still alive, or how I wish I'm not born into this world. You can imagine those kind of a thing, and then the trauma is going to be lingering every day of your life. If you sleep and wake up, you're going to even if you hear say, you go japa, anywhere you know, you go run, you just be like, for where those people are waiting, my eye don't see for their hand, I don't want to hear them again. In the course of where you go, they curse them, say, God will punish you wherever you are. And so you go just God, you go to call God on top them, say anyway where they did. And I feel their pain as well.
And most of these parents, they don't plan to send their child or their wards outside to experience
Some do. Some do with selfish reasons. Some
some of them have financial instability because they can't. Some people, I have someone that
when you know you're not financially stable, why do you accept them? They will ask you, can you take care of them? You say you can take care of them, but when you know you can't, why do you accept them?
There will be a situation where the economy will put you. You look back at you shouldn't have done this. You should have done.
But that doesn't mean you should make that child suffer.
I had so many. So
most of them didn't plan to make that child suffer. Most of them they don't have this agreement with this person that they are taking their child to stay with them. Okay, the agreement will be, this is my child, help me train them to school. They might not have the ability to train them to school or the funds to train them to school. They'll be like, okay, well, help me train my child to school. Feeding and the training of the child is on you. Anything that comes with chores, works in the house, the child should be able to do it. But these people that they put this child in their care will be the ones to take things to their own.
I want to ask, what if it is your child? Won't you know how to take care of the child?
This one is the
no matter how it is. Won't you know how to take care of the child?
Most parents that can also take care of their child, that can't even take their child to another man's house or another man's house to take care of them. They take their child to boarding school. Boarding school is another scope for people to shy away from the duties of their children, because they believe this child every day, if they house every time you go to consume only. You might put them for boarding school. Boarding school helps most of these parents.
You know what I
most of their things.
There's a family out there that the moment they have a child, they are even if the child is going to be 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, and 10 years above, they are ready to push the child into labor for someone else and be at home and be receiving the money. They'll tell you that I'm giving you to be working for you. So anytime you are paying her, pay it into my account because I'm the father. So it's time for me, instead of them to send the child to school, they'll rather wait for the child is matured enough for them to send them into someone's house. If you like, you can send the child to school. If you like, don't send the child to school. So their own is just on that support. I'm talking about the ladies' own. The women that have been in abusive marriage, some are there when the parents will come, Mom, I'm facing this kind of thing in my marriage. Well, do you want to leave your husband? Please don't bring shame to the family, because if all what I've seen in your father's house, I still remain. I'm sitting down, and today look at where I am. And you too, you want to leave? No. I didn't train you to be like that. Pray to God. Pray to God. I will give you chapter of Bible to read. Read Psalm 91.
Keep praying till the girl die there.
Keep praying.
Keep praying.
Because how would my people say?
What would they say?
They'll say that this one that goes to husband house.
Adele Moshua, where they used to call
they have already returned back. No.
I can't accept it.
We will talk to your husband.
We will pray about it.
We will go to church. Our pastor, our imam. They will talk to. See, prayer will solve every problem. And for the men that is going through abuse, because I've seen one man will be saying, "Why do we take hijack and for bed?" Serious slapping from left, right.
Abi DSM.
I don't understand. Serious slapping. And another one was standing there doing videos, like everybody was like,
"No, that one I mean, Abi DSM. Why will he be doing that? Why will she be doing that to him?"
No, the story was like the guy took they got married in Nigeria and everything was good, and then the guy decided that they should relocate outside country, and then the whole thing the lady just went wide, and then now feels like she's now the one. I watched one interview when the man was like, the lady that I got married to in Nigeria, and then I took her outside the country, she now physically harmed herself. cut herself and then call the police. Hello, sir, my husband has just abused me. Then the police were like, what? Now, the next thing they asked the man to leave the house for her. The man is homeless, and then it was like, so it's not a good idea, because so I feel like what you are trying to say is that people are being abused. We should also look at the fact that there are other stages where you've been pushed to the wall to hit this person. A man can be as gentle as anything. They try to tolerate your whatever you wanted to do, but the moment they feel like you are not giving them the respect they needed, the anger that pours in, like, well, I will just punch your face. I'm not.
Like some men say, we wash their wife pants, they wash their wife,
and that is part of this domestic.
Yes, now
That is the abuse that we are still talking about,
because they are the one providing for the family.
the man would not want it to voice her, because it's going to feel like, if I voice her now, you feel like, what are you doing at home?
Exactly, what are you using?
If not for you to just wash my clothes, what else are you doing at home?
We Nigerians, we always have this belief in so many things that husband cannot help the wife to do the marriage.
It's not the matter.
It's not like point and blank.
No,
I'm not putting it
Because if it is you that your child gets married now, you see him watching your wife like Cholo Bofone.
No, this same wife is the one that will watch the husband's underwear.
That one is different.
But see, if where there is love, where there is harmony, where there is unity there, I believe everybody has 50-50.
You worship at and bra.
No, I'm not saying this.
No, specify now. Specify.
But if the husband has to do that, it shouldn't be in a way that, see, you only know if your wife says it outside.
Yeah.
Because if they keep it to themselves and tell themselves that I did this for you.
But what if probably the in-law or your mom came in? I didn't mean, let's say for example, you had one watching your wife pants and bra, and your mom ended up be like, what's in low before mommy?
That's why you can't do such things in presence of everybody.
No, now like your mom walks in. Your mom walks in.
Look,
you weren't expecting it.
Your mom,
some others are
coming. That's what they do for facing my face.
No. Some mother.
They say toilets inside your room. I don't see any reason why my mother will just walk inside the room.
You know what?
Your mother can enter
you know the
like
system.
your house.
This is happening in Nigeria.
You know the most funny part in Nigeria.
Not exactly in Nigeria.
The most funniest part in Nigeria is that when a lady in married, and then all those things a man is doing it for her, they're going to take it as love and care. Make that lady brother try am with another woman.
And now
You go call him brother. You go call him brother.
Nothing low inside.
Are you mad?
Like, apart from that, the mother be like, what are you doing?
Why would you allow? Why would you? No.
I believe in the modern world because
The living in modern world is different, but don't abuse it.
If it is getting too much, the wife said you'll be expecting you to watch it constantly.
It won't be a general thing. I would always want to do every time.
Because girls, I would say girls are fond of this. If you do things every time for them, they will ask, why haven't you done it? Something like that.
But not something you do out as a general thing.
There was this one that was going on online when the man actually came in. He was kind of a Nigerian law or what, lawyer, and then he came in. He was talking to the wife. The wife was just walking around, talking back. No, men is going to get to a point that they feel like, why would you be talking back at me? Because men are they carry
ego. Like it's so
they carry like say tomorrow no day. So it just feels like he started beating the wife, and then maybe the wife took record of the CCTV camera and they just went to the NGO and feel like my husband has been abusing me, and everybody was coming after the man. The man should lose his job. He has to lose his job because he's an abuser. He's a that, he's all that, and then he just wanted to escalate the whole thing and then put the blame on the man. And then I'm trying to ask this question: is that what if it's the woman that is abusing the man? Will they come out to say that let the woman lose her job?
See, most of all these NGOs and people that will always come out and advise you, do this to your husband. The husband is very important. See, it's most of them that do have these issues in their family. And I always tell someone, if you hide your problem will hide you. If you have an issue, tell people. Not that you have a particular person you always go to and tell, this is what my husband did to me. If you get advice from people from outside, if, like what you said now, he said the husband should lose their job. What if the husband loses their job now?
Who is going to take care of the children? Who is going to pay for the house
These
rent?
people that tell you, go and report your husband to NGO, you go and report them to human rights.
Well, let me ask you, let me say something. It gets to a certain level where those people will say, one, when she was saying it, she said NGOs, not any random person. She said NGOs, not any random person. For them to say it, it might see we accepted, yes. Some ladies fake it. You understand? Some ladies, truth to be told, they fake it. But that's why we say bad eggs are more than the good ones.
Exactly.
Do you understand? Bad eggs are more than the good ones. The good ones, if you not allow us to see them because the bad eggs are much.
You know this lady, she's married. She's this kind of a feminist, so she's going to tweet on her Facebook page like, if your boyfriend or husband cheats back.
Imagine.
So this is the most funniest part. People were just like, you have been saying this for a long time. You say if boyfriend or husband cheats, we should cheat back. You say yes. She said so.
Cheating
No,
on her husband.
do you know the most funniest part? She said yes. She says that she didn't mean that you should purposely cheat back. She means that you have to have a concrete evidence before you cheat back, because she wouldn't do that to her husband.
Imagine.
She wouldn't do that to her husband unless she have a evidence for that. If there's no evidence, she's not going to do that. So and a whole lot of women has been following her teaching, and then some are even out of their husband house because the husband caught them cheating and then or doing every other thing. There was this young girl last year, was it last year or what? So I forgot it. So she was in a car with mom and dad, and then she's at the back, just 16 years or so. So she made a video while she was asking for her dad to gift her iPhone X or XR or what. So the dad was like, you haven't passed your wife, you haven't passed your jam, and then you are here requesting for an iPhone. You have to focus on your studies. Social media came after the man and was telling him that you have to provide for your daughter before she went outside and do wrong.
That one pay what of this I am Bisola, that she said if her daughter is not up to 18 or 20, she will not allow her to use food. If you see the way social media, everybody on Instagram, Twitter, the way they came after her, like
you can imagine. So during that time,
protecting the child though.
During those fights,
apart from that, social media itself can be a plus, can also be a minus.
Yes.
It's the way we take it. If we say social media, I won't get my child the phone. I will get my child the phone. See, if you like, get that child the phone at the age of 7 years. If you like, get that child.
What she will know, she will know.
1 year. What she wants to know, she will know.
Exactly.
Because most of our children now are being influenced by peer pressure.
Exactly. And how the parents does at home. It depends on how they behave at home.
There's another awareness I feel like that needed to be thought of. After the domestic abuse and beating husband and that, there is also need for sexual abuse. We need to be aware of that, because out of 100% of a male, I think that 50% or 60% of young child, no, I'm not talking about the young men, like let me say from 10, 15 or above, are actually experiencing this thing in their home, especially that have a nanny, those that have a house help. They experience this a lot, because a child will grow up to the point that he's mentally, when they say mentally traumatized in the room, and then he's going to start doing some stuff with the big auntie. So we think one man was actually saying that when he was 10, there's an auntie in their compound that is late 30 years, and then she used to call him into the room, and then they have to do stuff. You know the comment that I got, a lady came out and said that see enjoyment. So that is not enjoyment, that is traumatized. That thing will leave a memory in that boy, said that even when he's grow up, you're going to find a molester, you're going to find a rapist, you're going to find a whole lot of things that is going to be happening in the community. And it feels like, it's okay now, he's a male child now, he does not have to feel it. Tomorrow he to no go fuck woman. A lot of young boys have already lost their virginity at a young age. And nothing is being done. A lady can just come out, fake it, this guy has already done this thing, while he's not. But that guy is going to be taken to court. He's going to be jail, because what he don't know about is already haunting him.
And parents advise them they should give room access to their children.
They have to hear from them.
Some child are being molested in schools.
Exactly.
Some child are being molested by teachers or their colleagues, and they'll not be able to talk at all because they are scared of their parents. What will my mom say? What will this one do?
The issue of child being molested in school, it's not something you can. It's something that happens. It happens everywhere. But it's not the duty of the parents to start.
No, whose duty is it? Whose duty is it going to be?
Because these two students are being sent to school to learn.
Okay.
If the parents,
a teacher that's supposed to teach the child is molesting the child.
They've left the surrounding of the parents. So it's expected for the school authorities to handle that
Are you for real?
because I don't think
You know what?
you sending a child to school.
You know what?
Don't know what is happening there.
Why would you know? And
You
unless
don't-
you
you
don't, no, 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 don't talk like that. Why
you
would you
don't
know?
do that.
Unless you
You
don't
don't
give room to your child to talk to you after he or she goes back from school.
You can't see there are some
No one is putting blame on the children now.
there are some children that have they have this phobia of they can't open up to people.
It's because of how the environment is.
How they build their children.
If the environment is
Parents don't have
toxic,
time for their child. They want to be curating the time when they are older.
if the environment
No,
is
it's
toxic
not
for a
that way.
child, growing up in it.
Most of us call it molesting. Eh? Have you thought about these children actually are these children the one pushing their teachers into this?
Those are minors. They are minors, and then you can't actually expect them pushing a teacher into doing some art. Okay, these are
Let me
adults.
tell you, I did teaching practice one time when I had this situation whereby some children I'm not supporting the fact where children I'm not supporting this fact but there are some children that will bring that momentum to you that I like my teacher.
Those ones have already gone out.
Is the teacher crazy?
Wait,
Is the teacher not okay?
let me tell
I'm not
let me
supporting the fact.
excuse me,
But
Mr.
I
Mr.
expect,
excuse me,
the management of the school to be able to
How will the management of the school know?
excuse me.
How will they know? How will she know?
There's differences between a minor and an adult. Okay, let me just say a kid of 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years. I'm talking about the adult one that are already in their 13 years, 14 years, or let me just say 15 to 18. Those ones you can actually call them an adult because they have already developed their puberty and then they are
They
going
know what
into-
to do and what
they
not
know-
to do.
So you as the parents, you have to create rules where the atmosphere there is very, very comfortable that the children can talk to you
At any time.
At any time, whatever that is happening. And then at the same time, you are not supposed to allow your child. There's this thing that says that even if you want to allow your child to be free with you, it's not to the point of you allowing them to date with you in the bathroom, see your nakedness because
Yeah.
you feel like this is your child, they come out of you and then you feel like this one is going to give them the mentality of that.
They've seen everything.
Seeing other people nakedness
It's good.
is a norm. Guys, my mom whole day like this now.
I've seen my mom's own, I've seen my dad's own. What is there not to see again?
What is there not to see again? And then I watched one video when the lady was like, she was dancing, and then the boy behind her was holding her thighs, like holding her bum from behind, and then she was dancing. And like you can imagine when that child grow up, the way that he's going to feel like this one is normal now. So any girl that walk past and go be like this one I fit touch am. It's an easy routine for them. So talking about that, you feels like is the student or the student that is going to be like I like my teacher.
Yes, students can have crush on teachers.
Students can have crush.
But is the teacher not thinking?
Have you been the part where you see a teacher defile a 3 years old child?
What
So because like he used a scissors to cut her through.
Well,
just to penetrate.
I'm not disputing the fact, but I'm just putting an instance whereby we have because most of these things happen in secondary school.
Not
secondary school. Primary school is now involved.
Primary school not alone.
We do have
It's not just a pure thing.
Who said so?
more of it happens in secondary school. More of it happens in secondary school and tertiary school whereby the students see let me tell you there will be a stage don't pray to have yourself in this
Kind of situation.
when you see a child. Let's call them a child because most of them are not married today because puberty stage. Most of them are now saying most of them because puberty stage. You can't say you can be in a situation whereby you see a child bringing that flair to you. I like my teacher. See, I've been in a situation whereby students themselves.
Do you know that
It's normal now. It's normal. It's normal in school.
in what religion? No. In what
See, forget if you are older and you look handsome. No, what are you saying? Someone will crush on you now.
A child, let me not say a child. In both religions, a lady that is almost 17 years, 18 years, 19 years is married. You know that.
Yeah.
Having a teacher that wanted to, okay, I have a crush on this girl.
How old are you? Is a questionable act. To know how old is this girl before you proceed, and not just by standing behind outside and then feels like you can have a talk through within yourself, and then you have to make sure that you listen to the parents first.
Sure.
To have the consent of the parents to go ahead with the relationship. Saying that the throwing flex, there's difference.
Okay,
If a child of
10 years wanted to throw flirt at you, who are you going to blame? Is it the teacher or the parent that have
parents.
already indulged this girl into this act?
The parents, whereas the parents don't know anything about
Because
it.
these days, you hardly allow a child to be a child. You are already fixing
Wigs,
wigs for the
doing
child,
eyelashes, doing
eyelashes, doing nails,
doing makeup,
putting on
3 years old child for that matter,
wearing them crop top,
just to do photo shoot.
just to do photo shoots. Because you wanted to make them feel like this is my
Yes,
child has
and now-
arrived. And then okay, a 3-year-old child having eye contact with a teacher, then the next thing, you do like this. Who you go first for? No, that question that they ask.
This move us to move us to the support systems we have. Because in Nigeria, there are various reporting mechanism of support service available for victims and domestic abuse. We can see if these things happens, we can report to police, we can report to domestic response team, legal and services. Because I tell you, these things happen. The way we see them, the way we hear them is not the way it happens. Because there are some situations where you will be like confused, like that. See, I've had a situation whereby a child will always the child might be little in age, but the maturity might affect the teacher. I'm not in the fact where I'm supporting one person. I'm not supporting anybody. But I'm putting this in scenario whereby it may be a 50-50 chance to this person and 50-50 chance to this person. Because
the 50-50 chance is depending on what? Is it the parents or the school authority?
I would blame the parents also, because the parents need to make the children understand that when someone touches you in a private part of your body, you should know that this is wrong. Most of our parents they don't educate their children on this.
That's what we are saying. If you don't give him to your
Most
child,
of our parents
now how will your child own up to you?
In the first place,
Because we are going wrong in the first place, saying this and that.
most parents also educate their children on this, but their children are being influenced with social media.
Okay, I'm going to tell you that this thing that you're trying to say is that in the olden time, teaching a child, especially a girl child, about sexual activities, they find it as a forbidden stuff.
Yes, it's not even allowed.
It's not allowed. You can see your mom so holy sitting
Even
down.
when a girl child starts his or her menstruation, the fear to tell my parents, this will be like, what is this?
They're going to ask you all series of questions. How did it happen? Who taught you? Who did it?
Exactly.
And then the fear alone is going to build up in you. Like this generation now, I know they are trying in some kind of a way to relate and
With
interact
child.
with their child, but at the same time, they are doing it in a wrong way. They are doing it almost totally in a wrong way. You can actually say that you wanted to teach your child of how the body parts looks like, the sexual interaction looks like, and then you have to start with your own exposure. You have to allow them to go into the internet and then expose themselves with a whole lot of things. This is still part of the mental abuse we are talking about. A boy will grow up today and then he's going to totally lost everything. If he's going to be caught of being whatever, a nuisance in the society tomorrow, touching and doing whatsoever with a woman, you're going to feel like, how is this one brought up? Some self are even a victim of it. An older lady is grooming a young boy of 10 years, forcing him into between her legs to make sure that he has, like, how? Why is this supposed to be like that? I said this one time, I said that there are many people that are being damaged out there.
Nigeria now has the highest population in Africa with the rate of baby mamas.
No, we're not talking about the baby mamas aspect.
No,
Baby mamas
I'm just making an instance whereby I tell people that if you have domestic issues, let's move away from children being abused. Let's now talk about this male and female gender. That's the wife and the husband. I always say people where in a situation whereby you have issue with your wife, it's better you come close to your husband, or you have issue with your husband, you come close to your wife discuss things personally. See, I'm not in support of whereby
You know what? You know,
to
I'm going
a
to say
situation.
that.
I don't know where
Like,
not to a situation whereby other people will hear about this is what is happening in my family, this is what is happening in my family.
Nigeria as a whole, we don't take mental health seriously.
at all.
It feels like it's only the people that is walking on the street naked that the one that have mental problem. But truly,
Depression.
the mental health that is walking around us, the damage,
They don't have customers.
the therapy,
No, it's not as if they don't have customers again. How many people have the money to go for counseling? Not that they don't have. No, now middle class man. How can you go for counseling? Where be counseling of 500K?
Is that
Counseling of 250K. If you see that one, you don't go use that job.
If people have the money to go to gym every month, they can go for counseling.
How much is gym?
How many poor people do you think that are out there
Counseling
gymming?
does not cost in a section does
No,
not
in
cost.
Nigeria, how many poor
Who said
people?
so?
Yes, there are some sections that don't cost.
Counseling 10,000.
There are some sections that don't
No,
cost.
I disagree.
To get
Except for low class counseling.
to get a depressant drugs alone, you know how much that costs.
One job, just a day's service 5,000. Talking of a week. What are you saying? Counseling 10,000. Where do you see that
You
one?
can imagine.
Or you can give it to the audience in case anybody needs any counseling.
I'm going to tell you that many homes have has raised a mental drained humans this time around. That we're going to feel like it's just a norms. Parents that then they are going to be shouting, please don't men are no divorce or men are no divorce or this and that. So and I want having a child that grow up in this kind of environment, the one that is going to be with the mother and the one that is going to be with the father. There's a term that says that a woman is not capable of training a child, and I'm going to be like, yes, 100%, I'm in support of that. Because in the first place, if you are going to start training a child that the father or you two have an issue and then you two split, training that child up alone is going to give you the thought of to even beat her and say, you go tell her and say, no, my child, you know how much I don't suffer on top this child. I know even if person self correct her for waiting I do. I know of a lady that actually see it was when she get to where we are that we started telling her that you can't actually give this child everything that she wants.
She started spoiling her when she was small.
She started doing that when she was
And to
small.
control her when she's old enough, it will be a problem.
When she's going to be old enough and then for you to control her
It will be
again.
a problem.
You know
Not be break am.
you know if bend fish we don't already
No
dry
fit.
now. You go scatter.
Exactly.
And you yourself you go drain.
It depends. See, I always believe in hearing size of other people. The 50-50 issue. Because one, someone that has spent a lot on a child, expect the child to do. See,
you spending a lot on a child and not training your child. How do you expect much?
There's nobody that will
There's no way you can
there's nobody that will
expect
tell you that he or she is not training his own child. It depends on the way the person sees it and based on what the person has gone through. Because if you are doing this for your child, doing this, and people are telling you are spoiling this child, see, you might have your own impact of spoiling the child, but the child itself has the right to choose the kind of path he or she wants to go.
You know what the Bible says?
No.
Train a child on the way it should go.
Okay.
So that when it grows up, it will not depart from it.
What if you train a child and the child departs from it too quickly?
Okay, wait.
Well, let's talk about pastors. Even pastors' children, at the end of the day, when they go to school, they turn something else.
Let's talk about the olden days. There are kind of things that you're going to do then. So even look your papa for eye.
it will become problem for you.
Go become problem.
Like you don't even feel look out for
You don't
eye
feel
when
look
you
out
go
for
talk.
eye.
Make I tell you, those people don't look their papa for eye when they don't do. When they dey small. Now when they go, you see their madness. Well, I tell you, if a father is very sweet to a child at young age, if that child grow up, he's going to give that father when they always show say I'm sweet. When old age set in, you see the true attitude of that child.
You know the most funniest part that you're trying to just put this thing around the fact that no matter how you try to train a child, it can never turn right. It's as if
no, I'm not saying it can't turn like it can never be perfect. You can't train a child to a way the child will be perfect at.
But you know, you train the child well, even though if he or she was later influenced by peer pressure. Like, to be sincere, if he or she was later influenced by peer pressure, he or she will even think. It's not only the parents that has what to do. The teachers has what to do. Him or herself too has what to do.
The issue, most children they know how to pretend. If they are around their parents,
Yorùbá will say mo ti ṣe wọn tí mo lè ṣe ó kù sí ẹ lọ́wọ́. The ball is in your court.
Okay, are you telling them most of all these girls that do prostitutions outside, they go outside and stand on the road. Most of all these boys that are into Yahoo and into bad things. Are you telling them that most of them don't have a stable family to come from? See, these two people, most of all these people that do this thing, most of them are both daughters and sons of the pastor.
You know what I'm going to say. In the olden time, you hardly.
No, there is a reason.
Let me say that in the
so you can't see someone that is doing prostitute, that is a prostitute outside, and blame her or just judge her like that.
No,
we have reasons.
No,
we have reasons.
Let's talk
if
about this.
If you hear one person's story, you will cry.
Let me talk about this part. In the olden days.
So I don't judge book by cover.
The same story that prostitute has. Same story if your other worker has in the street.
Not all, they are always different. Stories are not the same. Stories are not different.
Everybody has his own life story. But a life story, your own story cannot push you. Okay, you don't tell me because you suffered a lot in this life, you've done this, you've done that. You now go and carry on, you want to go and rob the bank, or you want to go and commit suicide, because do something that you know that it's against the law. And you get called, you start explaining, this is because I'm this, I'm that. See, the law will not hear that. The law will not hear that. See, everybody has their own story. It's either they follow it with prayer or you follow it with hard work. That's what I believe in. All this one they are telling me, they have their own story. This is why they are doing this.
Okay, let's forget about kids. What of men and women? How does it affect them?
It affects them in a lot of ways because, like you said earlier, peer pressure affects it. Isolation.
Shey men too dey do peer pressure too dey influence.
Let me tell you, most people that get influence are men. Let me tell you,
men or women.
See,
men or women.
I will tell you, men get more influence than women. Women get advice.
How many times have you been influenced by your friend?
Let me tell you,
sorry for asking.
I tell people that men gossip more than women, but people will not believe. See, when you are in a room of men, if one lady, sorry, let's say you are outside.
Let's forget about peer pressure. It is about relationship, marriage.
No, we are talking about the domestic part of it now. Forget about the pressure and peer pressure and all that. We are trying to make an awareness of the domestic abuse that
is happening in the family relationship
and all that. Because if a child is going to grow up in an abusive home where he or she find the dad or the mother beating the husband or the wife,
the husband is beating the wife.
When he's going to grow up, he's going to have the same impact.
Exactly.
He wanted to restrain for it and feels like this is not good. Because one, the child is going to have hatred for the father or have hatred for the mother.
That's true.
Two, is going to follow the footsteps of both parents.
Now I want to revert back to something. This man said some times ago that in a car, he's going to put his mother at the front. It's because of what he said what he has gone through with his mother.
Exactly.
Sure, you understand? That thing too applies to, what if it is another thing entirely?
What if it was another story entirely?
Exactly. What is that? He took his mom over his wife.
What if, if your child grow up and witness that, why do you think that he's going to grow up in that kind of environment? He's going to take your footsteps and feels like, it's all my now. No, now my mama go put for front. So
and that's, to be sincere, some ladies they cherish that front seat. That's
it's not as if they cherish the front seat. They
even though it's their rights. I said, but that can cause a lot of problem in marriage.
One thing that kills most parents in Africa is that they believe the footsteps they make is the same footsteps their children should make.
Are you not seeing it? What are you saying? Are you not seeing it? This is what is happening here. What is happening in our generation? What are you saying?
Everybody has his own life to live.
Okay.
everybody has everybody has his or her own grace that God has given his or her own. See,
Okay.
that's why they say all fingers are not equal.
Have you heard of family pattern?
That family pattern, like, see the way it's moving in this generation is
No,
not
have you
good.
heard of family pattern?
Anything wey dey happen to one, see,
Family pattern was created by someone that decided to create it. Because you can't say
What are you
Okay,
saying?
if you are sick in the hospital, now let me break this down. You are sick in the hospital now, and
And
then
they
you
diagnose
needed
you of something.
you needed a blood donor. Someone needed to
Who
donate blood
donates
for
you?
you. Go and look for someone from outside because you two did not have family pattern. All they can buy.
that does not imply institution. It does not imply institution. We're talking about behavior, not see when it comes to blood, gene, and donor blood group. This is a normal thing for family because you can't have I can't have me and my friend can't have the same blood group. It's not possible.
Okay.
This is it's normal thing in the family for the family to have. That's what they call it. They say blood is thicker than water. Blood runs in the family.
Oh yeah.
But you said it's not about gene, it's not about blood.
The pattern.
You said it's not about gene, it's not about
You said
blood.
that the pattern was being created by someone.
So how do you now know that blood is thicker than water?
How come
How do you know that blood is thicker than water?
In this situation, I'm implying where
How come are you still related with your grandmother, your grandfather, your great grandmother? That even if they still wanted to describe,
You don't get points.
they still want to describe it. They are going to call from the from generation that created your father and your father till the point it gets to you.
You need to calm down and understand my point.
Okay.
My point in this family pattern is there are some family. Your father might be a lawyer. The way I see things, your father might be a lawyer and he wants you to be a lawyer. Your mother might be a doctor and she wants you to be a doctor. That's the way I see family pattern.
That is not the family pattern. That is not the family pattern.
Different. That's not family pattern. It's different.
That's
In this abuse, in what we're talking about, that's where I see things like.
that is not the family
not
pattern.
family pattern.
You are actually the family pattern is different.
It's
Okay,
different.
let me explain to you what is family pattern. A family pattern is some kind of it's neither being spiritual or physical. Okay. You might grow up and witness that your father is good at taking care of his home, take care of the mother, take care of the child. He's placed as the head of the family. When you have grown enough and then you wanted to get married as well, you are going to take that direct step because that is where you grow. That is what you are taught. That is what you grow to see.
No one will even tell the child. Why you wait? Why you
Let up in my point.
We're not talking about career here.
We're not talking about career. When the child wants to get married, the father will say,
Another word for pattern is we think online.
but you are talking about career now.
We're talking about career, and we're not in career
Talk
talk.
about
Career also implies
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. It
you
doesn't.
can't bring family pattern into blood group and donor. It doesn't work that way.
That career stuff is something else.
As I was saying, when the child gets married, probably brings his wife to the bed.
Career,
Open under me. I'm working in my ways.
career is just something that the society, the country, just the human creates that we should aim a feeding for ourselves. That is career on its own. If you're going to grow up and then you feel like you wanted to be a doctor, you wanted to be a liar, you wanted to be whichever way that you feel like you wanted to be, that is your own ways of earning your own living. We're talking about pattern. When we talk about spiritual pattern, there's someone that is hating your father. Let me talk, there's someone from the village that is hating your father. And then he heard that that man, your father already had you. The battle your father is facing
You will face it.
is going to follow you.
If not prayer, you will face it.
The battle your father is facing, you are going to face it. Okay, your grandmother, your great grandmother was alive, and then she made a vow or an oath of something that this thing shall never come to pass in my home. Because then in the olden days, they wanted to use almost their family to look for power. They wanted to use their generation to look for power. And then you grow up to still experiencing that there are some things that you wanted to reach, you can't reach it because it's already like a stagnant for that. That blood continues. It's going to flow. It's still going to move on in your family. Unless you feel like, okay, this one is no longer going to be my lineage. This one is not going to stop me again. You wanted to cut that pattern. You wanted to cut it and then separate yourself from that. Career is totally different. You can even decide to lie down at your home and feels like you don't want to do anything because it's just the life you wanted to live. But talking about family pattern, what your father grew up to see his fathers doing, that is what he's going to use to train you to. What you grow up seeing your fathers doing, that is what you are going to grow up to train
Except
your
yours
children.
is a different pattern.
No, there's nothing I like except.
Some people might say, okay, I don't want to work in my father's way. Let me come like this.
You are still saying the same thing. It's
We
what
are
I
talking about career, Mr. Man. We are talking
I'm
about
not talking
career.
about
Let's move on to the responsibility of bystander. It's getting heated already.
Like I don't understand. I don't just understand, but I'm tired.
Let's move on to the responsibility of bystander. What do you think the bystander can do to help this out?
Okay, they needed to create a support, environment support like that. Bring judgmental intervention, encouraging action, offering support, awareness, and observation. And let me say about that awareness. If not for the child, the 3 years child I was talking about that has the broken bones in the thighs, it's the awareness of the environment that actually makes people to know that this is what the stepmom did to the child. Because if there is no awareness, there's nothing, no one would have known. That leg would have been there, being injured, gotten to the stage of rotting, and then we don't know what could have happened. But because of this awareness that actually occur, we have to say that a whole lot of things needed to be studied about the people that is around you, if they are going through anything. Like you can't actually just say, that one no concern me, Jare. You can say it no concern you, but you don't know whether it go the table go fit turn, where it go reach your side. So we need to create that awareness. Offering support as well, yes. We know some people can actually be mischievous and then abuse it of support, but at the same time, we needed to push up our support to them and then make sure that they have someone to rely on. Because there are some people that at this moment they already went into isolation. They wanted to lock away from people. They stopped doing the things they like. They feel traumatized. They are scared. The anxiety there and all that. They don't want it to relate. They don't even want it to speak out. So they needed people's support to actually come together and encouraging action. Yes, you have to encourage them to speak up in whichever way that is it. Even if they are scared, you have to make sure that you encourage them that you are here for them. They have to speak up and then you have to give them the support. Intervention, yes. When that is happening, when you hear your neighbors, they do bad boots or the picking where your neighbor carry from village, come back, don't they shout, hey, baby, oh, help me, oh, help me, oh, I no do am, or you too, you have to come outside and say that, madam, waiting they happen now so that you can have an intervention. Creating a supportive environment, yes. The environment needed a support, the atmosphere alone where you have to see it like you have to already perceive it, because if someone is going to you're going to feel it like, is this person actually okay, and then you feels like I need to ask that environment need he has to feel that this environment I'm in is safe for me to talk. So and being non-judgmental and that one na be the cocoa, because you know go feel one day around people when they say if you tell them what they do you, especially the men, this one is you don't have to judge your fellow man. A man going to feels like, this man, now your wife they pan and beat you like this. You don't be man again. You don't have to judge a man. A man can be as weak and also as strong as any human being. We don't have to expect them to be so strong and then mighty in whatever they are doing. It's only God that they talk say he be mighty. So any human can be weak. We have to be non-judgmental towards them and also support them with whatever they are doing.
Okay, Stevie, what do you have to say on this?
Well, I always tell people friends, neighbor, and community members have a big role to play in this. I tell you, now there's the basic violence. Like you said earlier, the awareness and supervision is a good one, and it's one of the responsibilities of bystanders, offering support, encouraging action, intervention, creating supportive environment, and being non-judgmental. It's one of the responsibilities I tell you. So we need to really work towards making this work for our society and key into it for more intervention. I think that's
Okay, together let us curate a safer society, report abuse, support victims, and demand policy change. Thank you for joining us on your opinion. Domestic abuse affects us all. Speak out, listen, and act. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and follow us for more news and updates on global entertainment news. Tomorrow we continue. Same venue, same time, same station. Bye. Thank you.